Shalom, friends. This is Akiva from Israel in 5, and I want to wish you a happy Passover and invite you to take part in a very important fundraising campaign from Meir Panim. Meir Panim is an organization that for many years and decades has been taking care of Israel's most needy populations, those living under the poverty line, including children, Holocaust survivors, soldiers as well. And now, around the time of Passover, when people get together and they celebrate and they have beautiful meals together, Meir Panim is making sure that all these populations and more have what they need, all the matzah, all the food, all the things that they need to make this holiday a joyous one. In addition to the populations I mentioned as well, they're helping families, communities that had to evacuate because of the attack on Israel in October 7th. So many of them still not in their homes. So please open up your heart, go to israel5.org/donate, and please give what you can at this very, very special time, an important time for those in Israel who need your help the most. Holocaust survivors, soldiers, evacuated families, and those living underneath the poverty line, including children. Please do what you can, open your heart. We appreciate it so much, and have a great and happy Passover. Why does the Jewish tradition tell Jews not to eat Chametz for the 7 days of the Passover holiday? What is it all about? Shalom, friends. This is the Akiva from Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. The classic thing about the Passover holiday is eating matzah. I remember when I was in elementary school, I used to go to public school when I was a kid. You can tell all the Jewish kids during the Passover holiday because they brought in these matzah sandwiches, right? It's the symbol of the holiday. It's the symbol of the story of the Exodus, right? It's the symbol of the remembrance of what the Israelites went through as they came out of Egypt. Why do we eat matzah? Just to make sure we're all on the same page. The Torah tells us to eat matzah, but why? Because when the Israelites left after that 10th plague, the Egyptians pushed them out so quickly. They were done. They said, get out of here. We can't deal with you being here anymore. Go, worship your God. They didn't have enough time to knead the dough and allow it to rise. So it didn't rise the way normal bread does. And it made like these kind of either kind of thin, unleavened bread or these kind of hard, crispy crackers. And that's why we eat matzah. That's why we don't eat chametz. Right? Chametz is anything that's leavened, bread, pretzels, things like that. And for a whole week, we change our diet. It's a very interesting thing. For an entire week, the holiday is symbolized by a change in diet, not eating so many of the things that we normally eat, and taking chametz out of our diet, replacing it either with matzah or anything else that we could eat that's not chametz. It's a very interesting thing. So what is it about? And so over the hundreds and thousands of years of the existence of the Jewish tradition, so many ideas have surfaced and come about. What is it about chametz? Why are we taking it out of our lives for an entire week? And let's remember that in the days leading up to Passover, people are scrubbing their homes, cleaning, right, their entire homes, especially their kitchen, to make sure there's no remnant of chametz from the entire year. No forgotten piece of bread in the back of the refrigerator. No frozen something that's chametz in the freezer. No crumbs hidden behind the pillows on the couch or underneath the couch. Right? We literally turn over our homes and clean like crazy, real spring cleaning. Maybe that's where the idea of spring cleaning came from. To make sure that we get rid of all the chametz, because not only we're not allowed to eat chametz, the Torah also says not to have chametz, not to own chametz, not to have it within your possession, not to have it within the borders of your house, not even to see it. Right, so we do this deep, deep cleaning to get rid of any chametz, also so that we don't, see chametz during the holiday and by accident, by mistake, eat it. And of course, right, not eating it. And this is really, again, symbolizing the whole holiday. But what is it about? One idea, right, is that chametz, right, leavened bread, it's bread, it rises, it, shows itself to the world, it shows off a little bit, so to speak. And there's this spiritual idea that behind something leavened, even though we're allowed to eat it the rest of the year, behind something leavened, there's a little bit of ego, maybe a lot of ego, a little bit of arrogance, maybe a lot. We're kind of boasting ourselves, rising, up and showing ourselves maybe bigger and better than we really are, right? Trying to be someone we're not. And on Passover, for the entire week, we're just eating the simple matzah. What is matzah? It's literally flour and water and nothing else. It was made super quick, ideally within 18 minutes from start to finish. And that's it. And that's it. Right? Something simple, not blown up, not blown out of proportion, not trying to be something it's not. Simple. And through that simplicity, we realize, we see, we understand that's all I need. That's all I need. This is sufficient for me to get by. Even to enjoy my food, I don't need something with all the fluff and all the fillings and all the extras and all the decorations. I can lead a simple life and lead a meaningful, fulfilled life at the same time. And that's one of the deeper teachings behind eating matzah as opposed to chametz on Passover. Another idea is, it's interesting because, they say, what's the difference between chametz and matzah? Like literally a second, right? From the time you let go of the dough, from the second that you let go of kneading the dough and the dough starts to rise naturally, you have 18 minutes to see it through the rest of the process until it's out of the oven, baked and ready and done. If it's 18 minutes and 1 second, it's too late, it's too much, it's already chametz. It went from potentially matzah to complete chametz, and you can't eat it because of that 1 second. And something becomes chametz in a moment. Even if you look at the letters of matzah in Hebrew and chametz in Hebrew, they're both 3 letters, and they share 2 of the same letters, the mem and the tzadi. The only difference is matzah has the letter hey, and chametz has the letter chet. And the only difference between the hey and the chet is literally a little line, a little tiny line, which again shows us that like that, right? You can make that big switch, that big change. And if we take this idea a little bit further, a little bit deeper onto the spiritual level, we learn that something can be just destroyed within a second, right? You say that extra word, boom, you just destroyed the conversation. You've harmed the relationship with that person, right? You waited too long to say something. You waited too long to help. You waited too long to reach out your hand, right? The whole situation completely changes. Sometimes it's just a little thing that causes a big kind of explosion, so to speak, in a relationship, right? In between husband and wife and a family. And so we have to look out for those little things. It's not always these big things that people fight about. It's a little silly thing sometimes that turn into bigger things because we don't take care of it when it's still simple and silly and small. But if we did, it'd be easy to get over, quickly move on, and it's not going to turn into chametz. It's not going to turn into something bigger that's going to be much more difficult to deal with. So this is really interesting. On Passover, we're eating matzah, not chametz. It's not only a physical thing, there are these beautiful spiritual ideas embedded in this act of eating matzah for the week, right? And we're really supposed to fill ourselves up with matzah, right, to help us spiritually, to really help us spiritually for the rest of the year. And again, it's not just physical nourishment, it's spiritual fulfillment as well, and strengthening our spiritual abilities and our spiritual strengths, right? And some people say, Passover, wow, I love matzah. I can eat a ton of matzah. The rest of the year, I don't want to see a piece of matzah. But on Passover, it tastes so good, right? If you never had a chance to eat matzah on Passover, I hope this year you will. All the best and be well.